Alrighty, so if you missed today's Google Meet, here's a recap of the 5 problems we worked out today. First, to let you know, the circles quiz is going to now be after our checkpoint 3, just to make sure that we get a chance to review tomorrow equations and do a mini lesson on volume of cylinders, because that will be on the checkpoint as well. I know we've done a couple problems, but I wanted to make sure that everyone understands how to do that. Alrighty, so when you go into your e-learning, you should have already, if you got this video, you know how to get into Canvas. So the assignment is under e-learning 317, area and circumference of circles. It is a Google Sheet. So now to open your Google Sheet into another tab, there is this blue title that's underlined. When you highlight it, you open that, and then there's a Google Sheet for you. Now, I know iPads and Google Sheets aren't always user-friendly. The best way to use it is to change your zoom to about 75%. Okay, and then if you need to zoom in later into your actual problem, you can do that with just zooming with your fingers. Now, there are 20 problems. To get to see all 20 problems, there is a drop-down menu at the title where it says question 1. There's a little arrow. You drop down, you pick which question you're doing, and it gives it to you. Alright, the question answers go over here on the right. The first column is problems 1 through 10, and the second columns are problems 11 through 20. Now, this is a self-check, so if your answer is correct, it will turn green for you, and I'll show you here in a minute. So the first problem we'll work out is this one here. Most of them are, yes, all word problems. Okay, so the radius of a circle is 3 inches. So it went ahead and told us that this is our R. It wants us to find the area and use 3.14 for pi. So here we have our formula, so we're going to use the top one for area. And I'm just going to plug in our information where we need it. So A equals, instead of pi, we're using 3.14 because that's what it told me. And then instead of R, we put R3. And now it's just a multiplication problem. So this is where you can use your Desmos calculator. And I put in, whoops, I got something else trying to come up. 3.14 times 3. Oh, we forgot something. Forgot something. And it erased everything. Okay, so we said area is 3.14. I forgot the R squared. So we got to do 3 squared. My bad. I'm sorry. And then your little A2 makes it squared, because that means it's 3 times 3. So technically we're taking 9 times 3.14. And our answer then is 28.26. So then when we go into our Google Sheet for problem 1, I will put in 28.26, and then it turns green for you. Now notice the box next to it is red. You have to figure out what increments you're using, okay? A little hint, we're not using any of these 3s. That is for volume. This is not volume problem. Okay, so area, though, gets the little 2 with it because it's area squared. And that turns green as well when you have the right answer. Okay. So then we go to our next problem. Now, that was problem 1. I am not going in order with these, just to give you a little heads up. Okay, I'm skipping to problem 4. So make sure when you get this answer, it goes in problem 4. Okay, so now they gave us diameter of a circle is 4 yards. What is the circumference? Now, circumference is different than area. Okay, remember there's 2 different ways to find circumference. Well, if they gave us diameter, we use this formula. Okay, the formulas are on Canvas as well as on the Google Sheet at the bottom. So this then equals 3.14 times 4. I don't need the 2 because that's only used if we have radius. So then we can go in, put that in. And we get 1256. Oh, every time I go to a different, we use the calculator, it's going to disappear on us. Okay. So then for this one, we got 12.56. And so that's what you'll put in for problem 4 on the Google Sheet. And then because its circumference is just yard. All right, so the next two are working backwards. So that's where you're going to have to make sure you're paying attention to what we're doing next. Okay. I'm going to go to the next slide. Let me go to the next. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, let's clear this off then. Erase. There we go. Alrighty, so the circumference of a circle. So this is where it kind of then starts going backwards. So the circumference of a circle is 18 8400ths. What is the diameter? So they don't know what this length is. That's what they want us to find. Okay. And they're telling us to use 3.14 again. So since we're using circumference and we are looking for diameter, this is the equation we would use. So instead of leaving C as C, we're going to replace it with the number they gave us. So 18 8400ths equals, and then remember using 3.14. And we made a one-step equation. And so now they want us to solve this one-step equation. Well, this is multiplication. We want to get D by itself. Okay, so the opposite of multiplication is division. And when you plug that into the calculator, you get 6. So then you would go to question 9 and you'll put in 6 inches. It doesn't need to be squared because it's a measurement of a length, and length does not get a square on it. Okay. All right, our next one then is problem 10. Now this one, they want giving us area. Okay, so that means we got to look at that one. And they want us to find the radius. So A, and then I'm going to just, to save space, put an equal sign right there. And then we got 3.14. And then remember we have R squared. Now we cannot just get rid of the little 2 first. It's kind of tied to that R variable. So we do need to get rid of our 3.14 first. So remember the opposite of division is multiplication. Well, if you take 12 and 5600ths and divide it by 3 and 1400ths, you get 4. Now that is not R, that is R squared. So it's not our radius yet. Okay. So now to get rid of our squaring, the opposite of squaring is a square root. Okay, remember at the beginning of the year, we talked about 4 squared equals 16. So the square root of 16 equals 4. It's using that theory. Okay, so what number do we multiply to get 4? Is 2. So here we would say our radius is 2 yards. And that's what you would put in your Google Sheet for number 10. Okay. Now for the last one, if you want to try to do this one on your own and then see if you get right, okay, I will say you have to pay attention because here they're asking us to find diameter, not radius. So we have one more step at the end because diameter is 2 times the radius. And area only uses radius. So no matter what, we're going to be given the radius first. All right. So if you want to pause and see if you can do this on your own, I would do that. Otherwise, you can follow along. So I'm going to set up my equation, and I'm going to use my 3.14. Okay. We know the opposite of multiplication is division. Okay. So that means 4 equals r squared. Then we gotta do that little square root. Use some pink. And then for St. Patrick's Day, we gotta have some green. So the square root of 4 we already know is 2, right? But remember, that is radius. We want diameter. So to find our diameter, we gotta take 2 times 2. And this is the only measurement that if your radius is 2, it's 2 times 2 is going to be the same as getting our 4. Okay, so don't think you're always just gonna have the same number that's in the square root, because we know the square root of 36 is 6, but 6 times 2 is 12. So it could just go through the steps, and no matter what, you should be fine then. And then this is feet. Okay, so you'll finish off putting those into your Google slide here, or not slide sheets. Okay, so if you need to go back and watch any of that, here's your formulas. Remember to change your problems. Keep it about at 75% to keep a good from lagging. And if it still lags, maybe go to 50 and then go back to your 100% and see if then you can see your questions better. Okay, if you have any questions, you can always email me or ask me when I see you in class. Okay, have a good day.